go to the theory and we'll try to understand different concepts related to operating system. So this is the definition that we have seen yesterday and day before, that what do you mean by an operating system. So it is written is operating system is a program that act as an interface between a user of a computer and the computer hardware. So it is nothing but either, so it acts as an interface between user of the computer and computer hardware. So yesterday also I told you that if any user, so if we have some sort of user available and this particular user want to access or want to use the hardware, so what it has to do is it has to go through operating system. So operating system is acting as an interface between user and the hardware. So let's say if we have a user and this user want to use the hardware, underlying hardware. So how this user will use it? It will use it through operating system. Now, how this user will interact with the operating system? So it will have some sort of application, right? Some sort of application. And with the help of these applications, actually user is interacting with the operating system. It is not like directly it will touch something into the operating system and it will interact. No, it has some sort of applications, like if we want to interact with this particular operating system, so we have GUI available, right? And in the GUI, we can have different icons. So we'll just, if we want to open something, we just double click the icon. Or if you want to go through the file system, I have to open the folders and all, right? So all these are nothing but some sort of applications which are available, and through the application user interact. So user will interact through these applications to the operating system, and this operating system has an integral part which is called kernel. This particular kernel will is, you can say, the soul and the heart of operating system. And actually this kernel, which is the part of operating system, will convert the request of the user to the hardware understandable language, and then it will send this particular information or this particular request to the hardware. Once the hardware will understand that or will do the process of the request, it will give back the result, and this kernel will provide this particular request to the operating system level, and this operating system will provide the result to the user. So this is how the hierarchy takes place. So this hierarchy is in that particular way, right? So this is the hierarchy of your whole system, that how it works. Okay, what is the second sentence? It is written like, in simple word, we can say that operating system turn ugly hardware into beautiful abstraction, right? So if somebody will give you the hardware, so the hardware will looks very miserable to you. Miserable means if you have knowledge of the hardware, that this is the processor, this is the RAM, this is how your motherboard look like, then only you can understand, right? If you doesn't understand, it look like some hardwares which has different wires available, which have different gadgets available, and you cannot interact with it. How you can interact with the hardware if the hardware is given to you? So definitely we should have a sort of interface which can do that. And this interface is nothing but the operating system, which will make an abstraction. Abstraction means it will tell you that what are the memory we have, what are the of CPU we have, what is the configuration of the CPU, how much hard drive you have, what is the company name of the hardware. All those things will be shown to you. So it will give you the abstraction. Abstraction means the full idea or full information they will hide and give you something that you require. Okay. So physically you cannot see those hardware, but you can see that these are the hardware that are available with us. So here in the example, if you'll see, we have the hardware, and it is shown like there is some ugly interface with the hardware. That particular interface, the operating system will convert into beautiful interface, and through the application program, any user, through this application program, any user can interact. So any user can interact through this particular application, and this application will interact with the interface provided by the operating system. This operating system will change, and then through the kernel, through the kernel, it will change to machine understandable language, and then this process will take place again. So this is how your operating system is. Yesterday we have seen the two goals of operating system, that why we create operating system, what are the usage of operating system, right? So we create the operating system. First thing, we want that user will use the operating system properly. So the first thing that we are looking for is the convenience. How conveniently any user can use the operating system. This is the first goal of any operating system. So I told you the operating system about this DOS operating system, which is shell based operating system, where we have to give some sort of command. Okay, and through the command only we can interact with the kernel. So as I told you, kernel is the integral part, heart and soul of the operating system. So with the command only, it will interact with the kernel, and kernel is going to interact with the hardware related to the related to any of the computer system. So here we doesn't have any interfaces related to mouse. So here we'll not use mouse, right? In the DOS operating system, we use keyboard, we give some commands, and this kernel will interact with the hardware based on the commands that has been given through the shell. Now to make it more convenient, this operating system has been came into the picture, which yesterday I told you that we have Windows operating system. Then we have a Mac OS. Then we have Unix kernel or Unix OS. And the open source version we have Linux. Well, Linux operating system is your open source operating system like this. So we have many sort of operating system available with us, and we have some more operating system. It's not like only these operating system are there. So most of the operating system is Linux based and the Unix based operating system, but mainly this Mac OS and Windows OS has been made with the goal of convenience. So to make it more convenient, this operating system has been developed, and this is the first goal of the operating system, of any operating system, whether the operating system is of desktop or server or your mobile phones. So whatever operating system we use in any of the computing device, the main purpose of the operating system is convenience, that how conveniently we can use the hardware of the computer system, how we can manage the file, how we can open our processes, how we can do the multitasking, right? So all those things is come to convenience. The next thing is efficiency. So efficiency matters to the system, like mainframe, okay, like supercomputer, where efficiency is at most important.